All right, let's get right into it. The college football playoff is finally here, and this year, it's not just about which team has the most five-star recruits. No, according to the data, this thing is shaping up to be a fascinating clash of competing philosophies. It's a battle where a team's very identity might just matter more than its raw talent.
So here's how we're going to break this all down. We're going to start by looking at the different styles clashing at the top. Then we'll meet the three main titans and the dark horses who could wreck everything. We'll walk you through the logical, predicted champion, and then we're going to show you why all the data points to that favorite falling short.
Okay, so let's set the stage. The whole point the source material makes is that you can't just look at who's got the best players on paper. You have to ask a different question. Which team's identity, their very DNA, is built to win two high-pressure, do-or-die playoff games?
And this slide right here frames that conflict perfectly. You've got three top-tier contenders, and they each represent a totally different way to win a title. So the real question is, which philosophy comes out on top? Is it Miami's just pure, unstoppable firepower? Is it Ole Miss's steady, proven, battle-tested consistency? Or is it Clemson's crafty, strategic, matchup-driven game plan?
Okay, so with that set up, let's dive in and properly meet these three teams. These are the ones the source identifies as the clear frontrunners, the true titans of this playoff.
First up, you've got the Miami Hurricanes, and the Juggernaut is the perfect name for them. Their philosophy is pretty simple. Score, and then score a whole lot more. They have, and it's not really up for debate, the single best offense in this entire tournament. We're talking about a team that hung over 70 points on people, and it's all led by their quarterback S. Boy, who put up just ridiculous numbers, 60 touchdowns and a 74% completion rate. Just unreal.
And then you have Ole Miss, who the source calls the complete team. See, they aren't just explosive. They are reliable, they are clutch, and they have been through the absolute wars this season. They have the best resume of anyone here, period. Multiple wins over top-tier opponents. Their QB, R. Wilson. His stats might not pop off the page like Miami's guy, but the analysis consistently points out that this is the guy you want when the pressure is on.
And that brings us to Clemson, who plays a completely different game. They are the matchup nightmare. This is a team that feels like it was built in a lab specifically to win playoff games. They find your one weakness and they just hammer it all day long. And the whole thing runs through their dual-threat QB, A. Iverson. 65 total touchdowns? He's a walking mismatch for any defense he lines up against.
But wait a minute, because it's not just a three-horse race. The source material is quick to point out a couple of very dangerous Tier 2 teams. These are the dark horses, the bracket busters, that could absolutely make a run and ruin everyone's predictions.
So who are they? First, you've got Baylor. They're called the hot team for a reason. They are playing their best football at the exact right time. Their whole game plan is to control the clock and the tempo with their superstar running back Reggie Bush. And then you've got Texas A&M, the sleeper. This is a team that has already survived the toughest schedule in the entire country. They're not scared of anybody.
And honestly, this quote right here about Texas A&M tells you everything you need to know. They are maybe the most dangerous team outside that top tier. And why? Because they've already proven they can do it. They've already knocked off one of the Titans, Ole Miss, earlier this year. They know they can play with the big boys.
So you've got your Titans, you've got your dangerous dark horses. With all these teams in the mix, where does the source's prediction actually land? Let's follow the logic and see who they think is going to be left standing. The entire prediction really boils down to this one crucial semifinal game, Clemson versus Miami. You have Miami's offense, which is basically an unstoppable force. But then you have Clemson, who brings the perfect strategy to counter it. Their QB, A. Iverson, can just dominate the time of possession, control the pace, and keep that explosive Miami offense cooling its heels on the sideline. And here's the absolute key. They've already done it once this season. They have the blueprint because they've already beaten them.
And so according to this prediction, that massive strategic advantage is what gets Clemson past Miami and carries them all the way to a championship, where they would then beat the other Titan, Ole Miss, in the final.
So to sum it up, the case for Clemson is pretty clear. They're the pick because they have the ultimate playoff weapon in their quarterback, which gives them a huge matchup advantage. They're balanced, they're smart, and, as the source puts it perfectly, they don't wow you, they just win.
But this is where things get really interesting. What if the source's own deep dive, the very analysis they used to pick Clemson, actually buries the lead? What if it points to a totally different champion? Let's dig into that hidden, alternate ending.
Look, the case for Clemson is solid. It makes a ton of sense on paper. But if you read between the lines of the team breakdowns, the source itself gives you an incredibly compelling argument against its own pick. Just look at this slide. We're using the source's exact words here. On the left, Clemson's big advantage is their quarterback matchup. Okay, fair enough. But look at the right. Ole Miss is described as having the best resume, being the most reliable championship team, and being battle-tested and clutch. Those aren't just adjectives. Those are the words you use to describe a champion.
Think about it. When it's 4th and goal in a championship game, what's the one quality you want more than anything else? It's being clutch. And time again, this source praises Ole Miss for exactly that. Their quarterback is more consistent under pressure. Their key players are clutch in big moments. That's not an accident.
And that brings us right here to our final takeaway, pulled straight from all this evidence. While a great matchup can absolutely win you a single game, championships, those are different. They're usually won by the most complete, the most proven, the most reliable team in the field, the team that's seen it all. And according to the source's own in-depth analysis, that team isn't Clemson, it's Ole Miss. So the real question is, when all the chips are down, what do you bet on? A clever matchup or the best resume on the field?